actually from Norway, and I feel like the super sub today, because I hadn't planned to be part of the amazing M365 Chicago this time, even if I have been doing this event, I think 2 or 3 times already, because I simply forgot to submit the speaker submission form in due time. So maybe we need some help with the approvals in Teams or something else to make sure that that will not happen the next time. But I'm super excited that somebody else had to cancel their participation, so I was able to join anyways. So today's session that I will hold for you guys is all about approvals in Microsoft Teams. Maybe you have heard about approvals in Teams before, maybe you haven't, maybe you don't need approvals in Teams, maybe you do them in PowerPlatform or somewhere else, but let's look at the alternative of doing this inside of Microsoft Teams, and even more, let's look how it can actually also work together with Adobe eSign. So as you saw already, we give round of applause for concurrency, a virtual applause that is, but please make sure to also join the M365 Chicago in supporting the Chicago Public Schools through the Children First Fund. This is like one of the reasons why I really love the M365 conference, because they are always giving back to the community around and to people in need. So this is one of the reasons why I even right now I was jumping off my normal schedule just to be part of this amazing conference to give back as well with sharing some of my knowledge. And I do hope that everybody can hear me all right. If not, the moderator, please let me know so I can try to make some adjustments. So help us improve our conference as well by filling in the short speaker survey after each session that you attend, and of course the overall feedback as well. I do think that we all should bear in mind that this is an online conference, so it's not totally the same as if we do something in person. It's easy to kind of get lost in listening to a person when they are speaking online and you're not sitting in the auditorium somewhere and you're seeing people in person. But hopefully you will at least get something back from this session or some of the other sessions, and feel free to give some feedback. And of course, we don't only have concurrency as a sponsor, we also have a lot of other sponsors here with us today, making sure that this event is gonna happen. And of course, VM, which is the gold partner, A-Point, Focal Point, KViscom, Martello, Crest, Smart Consulting, my good friends over at Tygraph, and also my good friend over at the Crush, and even more, the North American Collaboration Summit, Cloud Talk, Nova 365, and Buskill, and others. So feel free to check all them out. Without them, we would not be able to do this. And of course, a special thank you to the session sponsor Concurrency again. There are some raffles and some giveaways. I would like an Xbox One, I have to say, but hopefully someone will get it and will be super excited about that. So please make sure that you can actually participate by submitting your partner raffle entries to the link provided in the window right now, and make sure that you are participating, because if you don't participate, at least you will win at least nothing. But who is talking? As I mentioned, my name is Knut. I'm from Norway. I work for a company called Omnia Intranet. We are a product company to have a ready in a box Microsoft Viva compliant intranet. So it works inside of Microsoft Teams as an app as all the other Viva products that Microsoft is having. I are multiple MVPs from Microsoft, and feel free to join me and connect with me on Twitter or LinkedIn or any other place where you will find me. If you're searching for Knut and MVP, there's not too many of us. I think it's only me, so it will be easy to find me at least. And of course, wouldn't be here without my lovely family. So big thank you to them to allow me to participate in all these events and for the continuous support. And hopefully we will all travel to Chicago one time so we can see some of you in person. But right now, I told you that I'm from Norway, but right now I'm actually stuck in Marbella, Spain. It's not the worst place to be stuck, but it's like really nice outside. So I'm feeling for all of you guys in Chicago, where it's probably as cold as it's back home in Norway these days with the -degrees and snow and everything. But we actually went here for Christmas, and due to sickness, we had to stay a little bit longer. So we will hopefully be able to travel back in 1 week. And yeah, let's see how everything goes. So I'm actually doing this session from outside of everything. So because who doesn't want to be outside when it's like +15 and sun? So yeah, but let's get back to the topic of the session. What are the key benefits of approvals in Teams? Some of them are that it's really easy to send requests to all or specific members in the team, for instance. You can receive and review all the requests from within one dashboard or one location. It's possible to archive and access all the completed approvals as well in the same window. And we can also now incorporate and include electronic signatures. And even better, might you say, it's all inside of Microsoft Teams. So it is where you are used to work each and every day. So in that way, it also kind of it's also support the asynchronous work, because if you are kind of like myself working for a multinational company, we have people working in different type of time zones, you know. So because of the fact that we are working in different time zones, we really sometimes I do my job, and in like, you know, in like 5 hours, when my colleague will wake up, he will start to do his job. And just because of that, it is really good to be able to do that asynchronous work, that I can fill in whatever I need to fill in. I can send it to my colleague, and he can take off from wherever I was left. And also, it do support different type of templates also inside of the approval in Microsoft Teams. Of course, the foundation behind all of this would be the Power Platform and the Power Automate and these kind of things. And we will go and look into that as well in a little bit of time, so you can see how that works as well. Some key use cases of approval in Teams. Let's think about that one for a minute as well. So for instance, you can submit a complete task for approval. So let's say that you have an onboarding. You could in some ways do the onboarding process inside of the approval in Teams, because you could kind of have some kind of form you need to fill in, or maybe you need to sign something and say that, hey, I completed the onboarding, and you can do that then from within Microsoft Teams. Any other things like HR purposes, you know, like vacations, asking for day off, sick leave, all these kind of things could be used in the same sense. And of course, all the other things that we need to do, like proposal, recommendations, like documents that needs that signature, can be really easy to start to use inside of approval in Microsoft Teams. And of course, the slides will be shared afterwards as well. So approvals in Teams make it really easy to create and manage all of the requests that you are having. You can see, as I mentioned, everything in one single location, which makes it really easy. And it is an app that you can dock to the left window of your Teams window. You can send a request from the chat as well, which means that, for instance, if you are chatting one-on-one with your boss and you suddenly need some approval, you can send it there, and it anyways will end up in the same window where every else of your approval requests are. So you will have that one single location where everything will be. And as I mentioned, we have the e-signature now with Adobe eSign. So I will show you as well how that it is working. So let's just jump out of the slides. I'm not a slide person. I like to show things live and with all the fun that demos can make, because some things maybe doesn't work, something maybe break, but what is the fun without that? So let's go and jump over here to my window, and I will actually want to show you how you can set up all these things with e-signatures, firstly from Adobe. So for instance, here I have now gone to my approval app, and I have gone into received. You also have the possibility to look at the sent ones, but I went into the Adobe Sign ones. And here, of course, you need first to sign in, or you need to start a free trial. So you get like a 2-week of free trial. After that is like, I think around $15 per user or something per month, but they have some bundles as well. So, but it is costing a little bit to actually start to incorporate the e-sign Adobe Sign into your organization. But when you have been doing that, you will get something, as you can see here. And now I saw my session has expired, so I probably need to do it again. So let's just go here and click sign in. Now I need to log into my Adobe eSign account. So I'm doing that. And then you get, first of all, you need to get this one because you need to confirm the access so that Adobe can and Microsoft wants to do all those things. So you can view the user information from Adobe, edit the user information, and all that kind of stuff. So we need to give Microsoft approval that kind of access. So I'm just clicking allow. You don't have any other options, so it's pretty easy. Now we are here ready to start with an Adobe approval. But if I will go here and click the new approval request, you see that we have the basic request. We have the Adobe Sign. We can also use DocuSign, but for this particular case, I will use the Adobe one because that's the one that I have been setting up. But if you prefer to use DocuSign, you can do that, of course, as well. Or I will go and look at also how you can create those org-wide templates later on, so you can see how those also are working. But first of all, if you go here right now, you will see that you need to put a name of the approval, and then you need to add an attachment. And from the attachment, there's 2 options. You can either upload an attachment from your computer, or you can choose from Adobe Sign. And this is where you actually preferable should choose from Adobe Sign, because then you can already fill in fields that the person signing or filling in this form needs to fill in while we are doing the approval. So to do that, I will just jump over to Adobe over here to show you how all that is working. So I just need to reload. So here you see that I'm into one of my templates, but let's just go now, click home first of all. And we can see that in here we have all these options, but for now I don't want to use Adobe for this. You know, I want to use the approval inside of Teams to get these signatures. So because of that, I will create what is called a reusable template, as you can see from down here. So I'm just clicking this one. And here you need to create like a name of your template. So I will just write this at Chicago partner, or let's do sponsor request form. Or let's call it order form is even better. Here you can see we can add 1 or multiple files. So here I will add 1 file. And I have my Chicago proposal template over here. This is a Word document that I have, and now I just clicked the wrong button, but that is okay. So this is a Word document that I have prepared here, so where I have some fields that I actually want to be filled in from the DocuSign, or in this case, the Adobe Sign instead. So all those that are green or yellow are the one fields that I want to be filled in automatically for me. So let's just go back, and we have the button down here called Preview add fields. So let's just click this one. So now we will see my form, and I can go in and I can add different type of fields into this form. So what type of fields could we add? For instance, you see I can add the signature and the initials. So let's go and do that first. And I'm not going to add all of these things right now because we just want to take a look and see how this will be working. So here you see we have the signature. So I want to have the salesperson signature down here. And here we have the salesperson name, but maybe we want to have the initials of the salesperson. So let's go and add those as well under here. Then you see that we have also here the reception. So there you can also go in here and have multiple ones. So you can have multiple participants. So, and you can select who should be the one to sign and who should be the one filling in the different fields. So for instance, right now, I will go in and adding the salesperson name and the partner name as well. And that you can find here, signer info fields. So here you see we can drag and drop the company. That will be the partner name in my example. And I will add the name because that's the salesperson name in here, just like that. And of course, in the normal way, you will remove these fields first, so that it will not be messing up when you are making the end version here. But this is just to make it easier for you to understand which field I'm dragging in where. You also see that we can put in the date. So I put in the date down here. And here we also again have the partner, which is again the company, just as that. And then we have the customer you can see here, and that's another person. So that's why I'm selecting here under recipients, and I will add participant 2 instead. So now you see that I have the participant 2 selected, and then I can go in and again drag in the company. But at this point of time, it will be the customer. It will be the other person signing or filling in this form. And here you can see that we can also go in and put the things here as well. So here we have the customer. So here we have name, just like that. Of course, I will make it a little bit smaller. And then we have the company, just like that. And you can see now how that one is working. And then we have prepared by. Then again, we need to go up here, change back to the other one. And I will drag the company over here, make sure that it doesn't float over the other one. And I'll add the name here for the person, the salesperson, the sales representative. And we have the same up here. Takes just 2 more seconds to do the rest. So let's just go here and do this one. And go and add it shorter. And we just need to switch back to, again, the customer. And we'll do just like that. But it can also be that maybe you wanted to have actually the sales representative just to fill in this as a normal form instead. You can also do that. So let's just actually take away this one so I can show you how that works, because now you have the fields that is coming more or less automatically from the person signing. But you can also go in and fill in the data fields, which is just a text box. So let's just do this one as a text box instead. So, and then you can double click on it. And then you will get the possibility to who is this one assigned to, so who should fill it in. So I will say that participant 1 should fill this one in, and you can give it a name. So I will give it just a customer name like this. So that's the name of the field, and we can put in a default value. So here you can put in customer name as a default value, so it's easier to understand. Yeah, go ahead. Any questions? Feel free to just unmute. All right, so here we have the customer name, as you can see. We are also adding, again, here you can see we can have a drop-down, checkbox, ready button, or an image. So in my particular case now, I will also just put in the customer name here to be filled in. Again, I will double click it, and I will allow participant 1 to fill in this one again, just like that. And I'll put in the default value, customer name. So the only issue here is that I cannot reuse the same one. So here I need to have customer name number 2. So I cannot kind of just copy automatically the value that somebody filled in here down here. It simply doesn't work. So that could be something worthwhile thinking about as well. So I will just go back here quickly, check if there was some questions from the chat or raised hands. No, it's not. So let's just hope everything is A-OK. So now I saved my template. So if you go back here right now, we will see that we have into my templates, I will have like 2 templates created already that we can be using inside of our solution. So if I will go back now to my Teams interface, I will just close this one again, and let's just go and do a new approval. And I will do Adobe eSign, add attachment, and we can choose from Adobe Sign. And here you see that I have my Chicago sponsor order form that I have been created. So I'll just click this one and I will click add. And now you can assign different persons here. So you can have a signer and an approver. So for this particular case, it kind of doesn't do that well, but let's just do like this. So I will just add my self here, as you can see right now. So I will actually be both. So I will be both the signer and the approver, just to make it easier, like this. And here you can see you can add multiple people. You can put in a name, so just call it M365 sponsor form, like this. And now we are creating that approval. So now you see that it's here. I see that I got like a notification in Teams that I need to approve something. And you see that I get it here. I can go as well and comment it. I can do a lot of things. So I will just click it. And since I'm now already logged in, you see that we get the view agreement, and you can click here, view and sign it. And this is where I said that we need to make sure that we don't have the green stuff behind. But you see now is next. So let's just call this one Concur and see. And since they are our sponsor this time, let's give them some more love. And here you see it's already filled in with my name or my company name. Go down here. You see it's already filled in with all my details. This one has not been filled in yet, of course. And then you see that here it's also been filled in, and the date has been filled in. So a lot of these fields has already been filled in. And now I need to sign. And here I already have a signature already created. Or I can just go and click draw. And this is exactly why I love to have a computer where I can actually sign on the screen, because it works really well like this. And now I have my signature. We can go here, and we also have the initials, and just click apply. And now we have everything ready to go. Click and sign. And we have incorporated that approval with the Microsoft Teams and Adobe eSign. So you'd see now that I also got a notification inside of here that I need to again go and approve it. So we can go here and click sign by, and now it's requested and it's pending from me because it's now already in step 2, the last step here. So I will just click review, and it's already been signed. So I'm already good because I use the same person for both of them. So in this particular case, we should always use 2 different persons, and you will have to sign it in the second place as well. But that's how approvals in Adobe eSign are working. And you see also you have a separate folder here with the DocuSign ones. If you don't find approvals here in your left pane, you always just need to click the 3 dots, and here you can click approvals, search for approvals, and it will find them. And you see that it's already added in my tenant, but if not, you just need to go and click it and add them, and then you will get them added. You also saw that we can, from the approvals, so you can also pin them. So that's right click on the icon here in the left nav. You can pin it to make sure that it will always be there. So that you will always have it pinned to your left navigation, so it will be easy to find, which is good. But that is kind of a little bit about Adobe signatures. You can of course spend a lot more time on those, but it is just to give you kind of the introduction to show you what is required to get started. And as you saw, it's possible to do like a 14-day trial, so you can actually test it out and see how it works before you kind of decide if this is something that you want to do or not. But then let's go and think about a little bit of the other things that you can do here. And you see that here we have received and we have sent. So you have kind of both of them. So you can also, depending on if you are the person that is sending something for approval, or if you are the one receiving, they will be in the same window. But let's say we go to the chat over here. And here we have a chat with, over here, we have a chat. And now, right now, I want to have the signature or the approval from someone inside of my chat. So underneath here, you see that we have the action menu or inside of Teams, inside of that chat. So typically, you will probably just go here and format your message, and or maybe kind of set some delivery options, or maybe you want to put an attachment in or whatever. But you can also go and praise, or you can go actually and click the approval one. So you can actually trigger an approval from within here, and then it will be sent to the persons that are in that chat. So for instance, here I will put like M365 demo. And actually, sorry, that's the approvers. So here we need to put them in. So you can select from only the ones that are in that chat. So for instance, I can go here and select Lars because he is there. I cannot select Peter that I have also in my list because he's not part of this one, but I can select myself since I'm there. So now we have 2 approvers that needs to approve this one. We can go in and add a custom response if you want to do that. So for instance, maybe you don't want to have the normal ones, or maybe you have some particular requirements, so you can do that as well. We can also add an attachment here. It's also actually, depending on your environment, you can request it to be sent to somebody else's environment, but that if you want to incorporate with some partners that you are working with, then you can do that. So let's go and just put in a name. Please approve my time off. I will just click send. And now, since I haven't used it inside of the conversation, you need to agree on the privacy and policies of this. So I just need to click continue. And now you see that I have here one of these adaptive cards showing me that I need to approve something, which is pretty nice and pretty to have that capability here as well. As you can see right now, we can go back to our approvals. Now we see that it just took a little bit of time before those come up. So now you can see that I can approve or reject. Here I could have put, this is kind of the custom action that it asks for. To have it instead of approve, I could have yes or no, or you can have like hey or hi, bye or hello, whatever you want, you can put it here. You can also go and look at the details of this approval. But since I didn't put in anything here, it will be not that much shown. Besides that, where it is in the approving status. You can also add some comments. So here we can go and put in a comment. So I could put in Lars and give Lars a comment here. So Lars, please approve. And as you saw, at mentions doesn't work here, which is a pity, but that's okay. Let's just go down here. And now it will be also in the chat window the same about Lars, please approve this one. So I can now click do the follow-up, and so a notification will be sent, or I can just go in here and approve it. And as you can see, I already approved it here. But if you now go back to our approvals window, and you saw that I docked it, but it doesn't have enough place, so you kind of need to draw it higher up to make sure that it's always visible. You can see that right now you have it over here, and you can also go in and review it from within here. So I'm waiting now to have it approved by Lars because I already approved it, but it has to be approved by both. So that's why it's written waiting for, or there is still requested here because I only have 1 out of 2 approvals on this approval request that I created. I'm not sure if you have been paying attention, but in the left side here is a button to click as well. It took me a long time before I saw it when it showed up in my environment, because that's actually where you can create and manage your templates. It's kind of a little bit off from the UI perspective, so that's why I was like, I will be impressed if you guys notice it. So because it took me a little bit of time, it will be more make sense if it will be up here or something, or like the gear icon that Microsoft typically has up here in the corner, or even up here, but that's down here is just really hard to see it. So if you haven't seen it, don't worry, it happened to me as well. But I can click it, and here you will see that we have the possibility to create templates. So you can create like an org-wide templates, or you can create a template for specific persons, a specific team that you are having, and so on. So you can even target the approval template to a specific team that you have inside of Microsoft Teams. So for instance, we can go here and let's just create an org guide right now. Actually, let's look at this one that I have been creating before. So here you see that it's the name of the template. You can also put in an icon. You can select a category, because sometimes it helps if you have a lot of them to categorize them, so it will be easier to find the one that you want to use. And you can see that it's enabled. So if I want to kind of make some changes or I want to remove it, I can just put it like this and it will be disabled and people cannot use this template no more. Then we have what is called the form designer. So here you can go in and create actually a form that has to be filled in when it comes to asking for the approval in this particular case. So you see here, I just have one that is how was the session? Good, very good, excellent. Of course, bad was never an alternative, but here we can go in, of course, and also modify this one. We can add an option. And let's just call it could be better. It's more nice than saying it is crap, yes. We can also allow multiple answers. And in this particular case, it is required one. We can also add more questions. So this is kind of like a small form builder, like a small version of Microsoft Forms. But this is also so that you can actually track and get some responses while you are asking for approval, which sometimes can be really, really useful. So let's just click save right now. I'm okay with my only one question. And here you see we have a preview of the save. So here you see we have approvers. We have the require response from all recipients and option. So, or we can go in here and also apply the session one. So, and if somebody can please unmute, which is now not unmuted, that would be great. All right, that's it. So yeah, so you can see that here we get a preview, so you see how everything works. So I think that is a nice feature as well, that you can really see how everything will look like immediately, and you can go back and make some changes. So let's just click save, and now we have that one created. Let's go and create a new one, but let's in this particular case, so new template. You see that we also have a lot of kind of templates to pick from when we want to create a template. So you see here we have activity funds application, field trips, discount application, we have verification letter, why like to kind of borrow one of the cars in the organization. And this one actually is really good these days, you know, because right now with COVID and everything, maybe you need to ask permission to enter your office. At least hopefully we don't need to ask permission to enter our homes. So at least that's something. But let's go here and put the one for enter the office one. This is how that one looks like. And we can click next. We can select, should this be a team-wide or an org-wide? It should be an org-wide. And then we have that one here as well, and we can go in and modify it if you like to do so. So you see we get the form design, the reason. We can add a choice column and say, are you COVID negative, like this. Yes, no, like this. It should be required. And now we have added that one into that template that was available for us. And this is what is really nice.
Available anymore since here for the insider versions, but you find under this link the insider version. So from
it's amazing with all people not managing to stay on mute, but what what can we do? We have to enjoy being in Teams meetings, and we cannot meet in person. Then it will be much easier. So let's hope that the next M365 Chicago will be in an in-person event instead. I would love to see you all in person. So you can see now that we have that enter the office is already ready for us, and I can click publish. And now that one will be also available for people to start to use. Let's take a look again, because I'm not sure if you saw all of them. You also have the ones for overtime. You can go and swap shift. You can do reimbursements, requests, and the purchase orders and the sales orders. Or you can go in and create a new from scratch. So this is a little bit like how everything was with Power Automate and Power Apps, you know, as well, where we have like a set of templates created for us from Microsoft, and then we can get started with those templates, and we don't need to start from scratch, which will help us a lot when it comes to building rapid solutions for our organization. So let's just go and take a look at how one of those will look like. So that means that I will go back and click my approvals button over here again, because, or we could also have gone here and click this one, and we'll be out of that template window, and we can go and have a new approval request. So now we see that we can either do the basic request, or we can do one of the ones that we have here. So let's do the enter the office one. So username, Knut needs to go to the office. So it should be, again, I'm my own boss, so that's beauty. I can approve it myself. If I put in, let's say, Lars also here, you'll see that now I get the choice to choose if I should require response from both of them, or first that is responding will be the one approving it. So I can go in here, I can select the date. So let's say I want to work on a Saturday. Reason, I need to work overtime. No remarks. But we can go here and say I'm COVID negative, and I can click send. So now again, we are creating that approval. It will be sent to whoever has been filled in there, and it will also show up in activities and everywhere else. As you can see here, I see that in my activities, and I can go in and click on it, and I can go in and just approve it, or you can also go here and see more actions. I can reassign it, because that's actually a really nice thing that has been developed now, that from Microsoft, that I can send it to somebody else. Let's say that I'm on vacation, or let's say that I'm at home ill, and I can simply reassign it to somebody else. I can also put in a follow-up, so it will create like a follow-up notification for me as well, not for follow-up task, so that I will not forget to follow up on this in case that I need to do, I don't have time to do today, but I can do it next week instead. So let's just for now click approve, and you will now see that my approval will be again approved, and the final status is also in my activity feed. I got it as approved, and I can go in and look at that as well, and I can see that it was approved by me. It said it's approved because here was first come first served to approve it, so I did not need a response from Lars because he was too slow. That's what you get from not paying attention. So again, we can go over here and we can go and take a look at the approvals. And you can see that now I have it also here, and the status has been changed to approved. So that's one of the nice things that we have all the time, this Microsoft Teams app for approvals. And this is why sometimes you need to look into what is existing already from Microsoft, that is already pre-built apps, instead of trying to build something of your own inside of Power Apps or whatever, where you will see the same kind of list of approvals. It's better to incorporate whatever you have with the need of approvals with the system that's already here. So with that, we can of course go to Power Automate. Power Automate, and just log in as well and see how things is here. because here it was always a possibility to do all these things before, and this is still kind of what's under the hood. So that's why it's also not a bad idea to know those things as well. So you see here you have one approval request pending. M365 demo time. This was one of the last times I did the one in Chicago, I think. And here you see you can also go and find all the flow templates and everything. But if you go to action items, you'll see that you have also here approvals. So it is a little bit similar to the ones that we have inside of Microsoft Teams, but you will not find your e-sign ones here or the DocuSign ones here. So here you will only find the ones that you that are kind of not with the e-signature ones. So that's why right now the best place to go would be to be inside of Teams, where you can see actually all of the ones that you are having. Because if I will go in here and I want to create, like let's say I want to create an approval from within here, we can do that. So approval, if I can only find the right buttons to push. So you see that start an approval process and send an email or Microsoft Form submission, for instance. That's one there. There's so many templates here. And even if you will use some of these templates where you can actually take the approval to multi-step approval, or you can go and kind of customize the approval process in a way that you cannot do from those templates that you have inside of Microsoft Teams now and the Teams approval app. Here you can go in and create all of those things. But they will still show up in here as asking for your approval or showing the status. So that's where it's really nice how all these things now is working together and finding a platform together, that it doesn't matter if you're creating the Power Automate approval that is like a totally custom approval process, or if you create them inside of the Microsoft Teams approval app and you're using one of the templates there, you will still see everything in the same window. So those are one of the things that I really like about this new approval app from Microsoft Teams, that it aggregates everything in there. So let's just go and try this one. So you see here Microsoft Forms, and then it integrates also with Outlook and with approvals, and that is it. So it will really help you with all the things that you need when it comes to creating those more advanced approvals that you cannot do from the templates that we have inside of Microsoft Teams. All right, that's great. So let's just quickly jump a little bit back to my Power here, and that's what I wanted to kind of end this session with, and also give you kind of a few minutes before the next session, so that you can have that coffee break or just stretch your legs, you know, because it's difficult to sit end to end with meetings on Teams. So you saw how easy it is to go in and actually extend the approval process, and you will still get it inside of the same window, and you can also incorporate that extension of approval process with Adobe Sign or with DocuSign and so on as well, and you will still see the list of all the approvals that you have, all the requests that you have, or if you need to approve something, you will also be able to do that from Microsoft Teams and the Teams app inside of Microsoft Teams. And that's where we are coming to, like the again repeating of the key benefits of approvals in Teams, because it's easy to send a request to or a specific group of members or everyone from within Microsoft Teams. The one thing that is not possible yet, if Microsoft hasn't changed anything, let's go and check that quickly. Is that if we are in here and we want to create a new approval request, let's just do a basic one. You see that we need to enter names of people here. So I cannot put it into like a channel inside of Teams, and people will, inside of that channel, they will kind of get the same. But let's go and check it from also within here. So if I go here, we have my sales channel, as you can see here. And we can go and try to go here and add a tab. Let's see if you have got an approval tab. We haven't got that yet, so that's not possible, but it should be possible to go in here and start it from within here. No, it's also not possible yet, so that's also like a pity. Yes, here it's possible. You just need to search for it. So I can go and add that same functionality as we had on the one-on-one chat into the kind of the chat from a channel. So if you go here and click a basic request, you see also here, instead of just taking the default the channel we have posted it from, and they will just post it there as an adaptive card, and whoever kind of gets it first, they could approve it. We don't have that possibility because it has to be attached to a single person. We also cannot do it to a security group. So some might say that that is negative side, but I think it's a positive side, because you always need to track whoever approved something, you know, and maybe it's not everybody that is part of a channel that should be allowed to approve it. But if you could have done a security group in some scenarios, that would have been nice, so you don't need to type too many people. But usually you don't want to have approval by too many people anyway, so I think it's just like a really niche user case that might be. But it's just still good to know that that's some of the limitations, at least. That bringing us to again the fact that you will receive and review all the requests from one single location, making it super easy to get that nice looking overview that you're having. And you also have the archive, so you can actually go in and take a look at the kind of the historical approvals that has been there. You can also go in and see who approved it. You can see how much time the person spent on approving it, or how much time it took from you send it to it being approved. So there's a lot of statistics there you can get out from it as well, just to go in and look through the approvals that you are having. And as you saw, it's also possible now to kind of reassign it to somebody else in case that you cannot approve it for some reasons, you know. And that's also something that you could kind of put into Power Automate, you know, like if you didn't get a response within like 3 days, then send it to the manager of that person. That's where you can extend that approval process really nice with the Power Automate platform. So I hope you learned something today. Thank you for everybody that joined, even if this session came up on a really short notice. Maybe you are disappointed that our previous session that should have been here didn't happen after all, but at least I enjoyed to be here, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. And I hope that you learned something from this session today, and I wish you all a great continuous day. For me now it's 4 p.m. and you guys probably have like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or something over in Chicago, or maybe you called in from somewhere else in the world. So thank you again for watching, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter or in the chat. I will stay tuned a little bit to see if there are some other questions as well. And yeah, if somebody has a question now, feel free to unmute as well, and we can take it or putting in the chat, and we can take it live. So yeah, thank you so much.